Evening, folks. I gotta shut off this other screen because that's loud as shit. Welcome back to the Forge Wednesday night. We have a Rippin Reptiles with us tonight, and we finally got all our kinks out. We had multiple connection and volume issues with all kinds of people in the backstage. I apologize, guys, for the wait, but we're here. We're ready to do this. It's going to be a fun show. I actually feel like a human being this week, so forgive all the hype or the excited nature that you see versus last week with Vance. And I do have to apologize to Vance. I had the worst stomach flu and felt absolutely terrible doing that show. Went through it. I think it went pretty well. Everybody had a good time. Got our questions out there and got it done, but wasn't ideal. Let's just say that wasn't ideal.
Power
So we're
30.
back here again. Yeah, dude, it was so bad. Stomach flu. I haven't done that for years, and it was absolutely god awful. It was so bad. I got up from my chair after the show, and this is details no one knows, but
TMI.
I literally stood up, and my back was soaking wet. My seat, everywhere I was sitting, I was sweating so bad through that whole show. So I apologize, guys, but we're going to do a good one tonight. This one's going to be fun. This couple can't help but be fun. They're trouble from the word go. Greg, TJ, these guys are fire. They're just kind of starting into this stuff too. They're switching over from, their careers and lifestyle to something a little different, and they both have an obvious love for the animals. They do everything they can in the best manner they can, and it's super apparent. And it's awesome to have this kind of people on. So let's just get right into it. Jamie, I think you're kind of running the helm for everybody that's in here. We're going to say hi to everybody. Don D, you already know. Don D is a guest. We scheduled him out. He's 2 weeks out, but we're going to have him on. Give him the fire. Oh, ready for some eggs? Okay. Sam, maybe a little spoiler alert for Sam there, but Merlin, thank you for coming out. Appreciate it. Crystal, I should say, not Merlin, but Biker, thanks for coming out. You're at everything, man. Appreciate you. Ken, double up. I can't do a truffle shuffle. I'm not even going to fucking try. Good to see Ken here. Kai Easy, thank you, sir, for coming back out. Been here every week. Awesome, man. T, thanks for showing up, buddy. Glad your results came back what they were. Awesome news, man. Awesome fucking news. And I didn't know anything about that beforehand, but I'm glad that's the case. So awesome, T. Vinny, thank you, sir. Thanks for coming out tonight. You're the first time here, I think. So hopefully you like the show, man. Emily, getting excited. Everybody's kind of hinting at what we're going to do tonight.
I like the fun.
You guys are spoiler alert time. Tim, that's our dad. Jason and I's dad. Well, Jamie's now too. But
yeah, he's my dad too.
That's a hard-working old son of a bitch right there. KD, our top 2 coin holder right now. K Diesel, awesome fucking guy. I'm gonna give.
Are you taking the opportunity right now to show that?
You know what? It's a good point. Let's do that. Let me get that out here. Jamie always on top of this, but I am going to do this right now, guys, because this is something we're going to do every week. Top coin holders. These are people that have answered the trivia question every week, and they're holding a lot of sway to what they want to buy, whether it's a shirt, a hat, a snake, stack it up, pile it towards something down the road. Forge coin is going to get you that token, and it's never going away. It's not going to expire. You can hold on to that as long as you want.
We'll keep track.
Yeah, we're going to keep track and spend it however you want, guys. But appreciate you guys just paying attention and answering the trivia question. So there we go. We got that out of the way. We're going to go back to this. We'll get everybody back on the screen. Who do we got, Jamie? Joe. That's my brother. Jason's brother. Jamie's brother.
My brother.
It's brother Joe. Vance. Week number 1 guest. He was a brave ass soul. He sat in the fire. Didn't matter because he's dead anyways, but he did it. Answered everything awesome. Vance was an excellent guest. Love you, Vance. Appreciate it, man. Jason Opelt. I've known Jason Opelt before the Earth's crust even formed. Long time relationship with Jason Opelt. Awesome dude. Connie, that's our mom. Thanks for coming out, mom. I always got to give the moms some props. Appreciate you. Tony Long. Ooh, does anybody know this one other than me? Appreciate you coming out, Tony, but not sure who you are. Thanks for showing up. Monoxide. Excellent sniper. Excellent stealth guy. Excellent shit talker right there. Top tier gamer, Monoxide. JNS, James, appreciate you coming out, James. Saw you in some other chats and stuff, but awesome that you joined us tonight. Glad you could stop in here.
Irresistible.
Nikki, thanks for coming out, Nikki. Appreciate you guys stopping. I know it's probably dinner time out there on the West Coast, but glad you caught a show with us. Appreciate it. Oh, now this guy, we're going to have to hold on this dude for a minute. I'm going to just give this guy one piece of advice because all we really need is just one pick and we take the map. That's all we need. And I'm going to leave
We
it
need
at
your
that.
address too.
Yes, we do. You wanted some stuff. We're going to move on from that character. Thanks for coming out, Cody, by the way. Code name Mittens.
That's all we got.
Appreciate it. Oh, that's it for the. All right, we're going to fire it right up then. Get my sip of beer there. And we're going to move right into Greg and TJ with Rippin Reptiles. Great community folks. These guys are awesome. They agreed long ago when we first said we were going to do this show, and they stuck to it. Super fucking excited to hear what they have going, things they're bringing in. I'm more than sure TJ is going to show us a snake or two. Should we just jump right in here, guys, and get Greg and TJ involved?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get 'em.
Just flop them right in here. I think it's probably going to be the easiest way is just to drop it like that. Greg,
how are you just gonna flop me out
TJ.
on the table like that, man?
I know. Felt a little
We're
whorish.
gonna lay it all out for everybody to see.
Felt a little pimpish. I didn't mean to pimp it like that and just flop you out there, but I think we're just going to go ahead and get started with all of our questions and stuff. I'm not going to drop Jamie and Jason into the backstage like I did last week. Got a little feedback from everybody, and we do try to pay attention to what everybody's got to say. Hey, how's the show look? How's it feel? And we want to tailor this thing to what people want to see. So, Jamie, Jason, you're going to have a free reign in here as well. I feel like I maybe know this pair a little better than maybe you two do, purely by sitting in chats and seeing the interaction and stuff with the different groups they're involved with over time. But leaving it wide open, guys. We're just saying big F it tonight, right? Because this is going to be a fun night.
Sounds good.
Cheers
right?
to that.
I mean, is everybody here to have a fun night or just like
No,
rules?
there must be a rigid set of
Drama.
questions involved, and everyone
Right.
must be conforming to.
Wait,
Right.
let me get my notes.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're not going to do that with you guys tonight. But I probably will drive this a lot, simply just from background knowledge, you guys, and where you come from and how you started. I know, Greg, let's just start right out of the gate with an overview of Rippin and how it all started and why this became a thing. But Greg, you were in law enforcement, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
All your life, that was your career, and you had some things come up that made you just kind of alter your path, and you just went, I've got to do something different. But I'm curious why Reptiles was the avenue. Can you kind of fill us in on how this all got started with you guys and why it swayed this way right out of the gate?
So the law enforcement thing started out originally. I was getting all my certifications to be a professional firefighter and paramedic. And along the line, I took a job with the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel District. There's an emergency crewman, and um, as an EC, you are a civilian employee of the police department. Um, After being there for a little bit, kind of seeing how the inner workings of the police department went, I decided maybe that was a thing for me, and that's the path I took. Um, it didn't take me long to learn that working at that location was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be somewhere where I could make a community impact. So I left there within a couple of years. I think I was there a total of 5 years, and went and started a career as a school resource officer, um, and then just kind of from there progressed to patrol officer, and did that for what, 22, 23 years. Um, I had an injury at work. I was jumping a ditch and lost my footing and broke my ankle in two places, tore some tendons, had to have a ankle reconstruction surgery. I was out of work for a year, and like a year and 2 weeks. So just before I was supposed to go back to work, um, I got a letter, certified mail from the department. Um, it was a letter of termination saying they were letting me go because my absence was a hardship on the town and on the department that I was working for at the time. Regardless of the fact that I was going to be cleared back to full duty in 2 weeks, it didn't work out for them. So kind of set us in a little bit of a tailspin for a little bit. But honestly, I'd had some health issues that were coming up. I have a pretty severe case of psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis that I was fighting for a couple of years. And it had gotten to the point where it was really affecting my ability to get around, and the stress just wasn't helping it. So ended that. And after being laid up for so long, the arthritis really had an opportunity to really set in on me and just kind of change my life a bit. So TJ at the time had just taken a new career and was making as much working from home as we were both making with our respective departments before. I had at the time 3 years to go before I could collect my full retirement. I got the years in, just had to wait until I was old enough to collect it. So she was like, why don't you just stay home and let me handle the ship for a while, and you just take an early retirement. Meanwhile, sitting around here may sound great sitting laid up all the time, but till you're actually doing it,
it's not great. It's not great.
No, it wears on you quickly.
Yeah.
It was a blow for me. I had been a firefighter, a medic, a police officer all my life, and I didn't know what it was like to not be riding up and down the highway at 100 miles an hour with my hair on fire. And it took some adjustment to get away from that. And I was dealing with a bit of depression and anxiety over that. And if I'm being honest, I was in a really dark place. TJ comes home one night. Well, I'll go back. TJ came home with a gargoyle gecko that was brought to my daughter works as a vet tech, and was brought there and asked if anyone there might know someone who'd be willing to take it. And of course, TJ is the one who can't drive past a puppy on the side of the road. So she comes home with with a gargoyle gecko. So we get the setup and all for that. And I think it was 2, maybe 3 weeks later, she calls me on the phone. She's on her way home. She says, "So, I did a thing." I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, I got a surprise for you when I get there."
Okay.
Okay, what's the
Right.
surprise?
Surprise can be so good or so bad. I get that. Yeah.
So, long story short, she comes home with a piebald ball python,
Okay.
and I'm like, "Okay, all right," and I will forever eat these words for the rest of my life. I looked at her and I said, "TJ, we're not going to have a house full of reptiles, baby." So, then we had discussions like, "Okay, so what did you pay for it?" And she wouldn't tell me for a while. Finally, she told me I think it was like 600 that she spent on this thing. Like, you did what?
Yeah, I think my
Right.
comment was we will not
I,
be buying a new tiller this year.
yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So it kind of that kind of I've always been interested in snakes. I've never been afraid of them. I've always my dad was one of those that the only good snake's a dead snake, that kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
In the yard. If they weren't in the yard, you left him alone. He was his mother was half Cherokee, so they did have a high respect for animals. But yeah, so I just never had one because my sister decided she was going to be slick one day and come home with a ball python. And thankfully, that was after I had already left the house because that did not go well for her.
Okay.
But but after a while, I told her, if we're gonna do this, I wouldn't mind getting one of my own and just learning what I can about them and looking into them. And couldn't
So
make up my
not
mind. Go ahead.
not to stop you where you are, but like time frame wise, where are we sitting right now in this portion of the story? Are you talking 3 years ago, 4? Where are we timeline
So
wise?
this was 3 years ago,
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
right? Right, T? Maybe 4.
I mean just
No,
roughly.
that was
Yeah,
Roughly,
22. That was right before I got hurt, or right after I got hurt.
yeah.
gotcha.
No, it's
Okay,
yeah. We'll say 2.5 to 3, somewhere in there.
okay.
um, so I couldn't decide. We went to our local pet shop, Pet Paradise there in Virginia Beach, which I was unprepared for the selection of animals that they had
Right.
available there. um, and I was just looking at a corn snake, just something easy, something that was cheap. And then the girl who was working there at the time, her name was Sunshine. She says, "I got one for you." She goes
Hey,
over.
wait!
She
I'm
pulls.
going to stop you right now.
I knew
I'm
that
not
was
buying
coming.
this for a minute. I am not buying this. You're in a pet store. Are you in a pet store, Greg? This
Yep.
It's
girl's
not
name
a
is
It's
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Yep. Yep.
Okay, we're gonna
not
let
a
it
Sounded
normal
slide
more
for
like.
pet.
now.
Though.
We're gonna let it slide for now. But go ahead. I'm
Believe
sorry.
me, I have frequented enough establishments that had names like Sunshine and Diamond in my day.
Right.
However,
Okay.
I
All right.
was not lost and I was not intoxicated at that time.
No. All right. All right. I apologize. I just had to. That's a key word right there. It's like almost like a safe word kicked in. But all right, go ahead.
So she comes over with a drawer and hands me this absolutely gorgeous inchy yellow belly vanilla Bob Vu creation. And I took her and I held her for a while and she was just a sweetheart right from the get go. And I was like, I looked at TJ and she kind of smirked at me and I was like, yeah, I think for now I'll just go with the corn snake. I'm thinking money wise, I'm not working. I'll just go with the corn snake for now. TJ said, yeah, we'll take both of them. So
Yep. Yep.
He's got these little boy eyes, and I can't help it.
so that kind of started the addiction. But what really sealed the deal for me was that, what are we, a month and a half later? I mean, I was sitting, everybody knows I handle my animals. I've just about always got an animal on my hands, um, especially this time of night. When they start coming out, that's when I start grabbing them out of enclosures.
Yeah, they get active and they need it at that
Yeah,
point. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
But I would sit up here at nights in my man cave and I really was able, with the help of those animals, to pull myself out of a pretty deep and dark place. And I told TJ, I said, I really think I want to try to breed a little bit. And she looked
Nice.
at me and tilted her head, and I think she recited my words to me. We're not going to have a house full of reptiles. But
So
I
you guys are
just,
playing ping pong at this point. It's like
yeah, I
you're
mean,
No,
you're just
I'm on
swatting
board for it.
excuses back and forth.
I remember that part was his idea.
Gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
she
Yeah.
was, no, trust me, she was just reminding me.
Right, right.
But I remember explaining to her, of what a difference it had made in me and just my ability to come up here and just quiet the noise in my mind. And I told her, if they're able to do that for me and I can help someone else find that, then I want to be a part of that. That's something I want to do.
Nice. And a
So,
great place for that to come from. Um Again, not to interrupt your story, we have like a lot of stuff coming in, but right out of the gate, K Diesel's like, what do you have there? And is that a
Yeah,
super dwarf?
that's a
Is it a
beautiful
super
snake.
dwarf
oh,
retic?
no, this is a Brazilian rainbow.
Oh, okay. Can't
Oh, I was
This
wrong.
let's
is
I thought that was
this
one of the
is
corns.
Iridius maximus.
okay.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, yep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I
awesome.
really did think super dwarf retic at first at a glance,
From a distance, they kind of resemble them, but
Yeah, yep.
and often mimic them in a lot of ways. This guy, you hear how nippy these are supposed to be. This guy has never struck, never hissed, never shown any defensive behavior whatsoever.
Yeah. No, beautiful snake. Looks friendly as all get out.
He's really been a gem to have. I'll be honest. And this is going to be one of the species that I try to branch out to. In the next year, I'm going to try to pick up a few more Brazilians and a couple more carpets, and they're going to be my branch out species, I think.
Nice. He got some props from Monoxide. He's like, killer snake, killer name. He digs
Thank you.
that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. We're going to try to do that a little better too. We're not good about all the ins and outs of this live stuff. And I apologize to you guys up front. If I cut you off oddly, there's some delay and things that it's not
No.
intentional. I think you guys know that and how this stuff works. But
No.
we do want to involve the chat. When they have something for you and it's clearly right then and in your hand, I want to bring it up and let them be involved. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Back to where you were in your timeline, you guys are just getting started and you've ping pong back and forth. We're not having a house full of snakes, but now you have a house full of snakes. So how did this occur?
Let's just say by means of spontaneous combustion.
Right.
Uh,
It
so
happens.
our collection went from, we started to go to a couple local shows. And we were just buying up a few genes here and there, that we wanted to start working with. I think one of the first breeder pairs I bought was actually a pair of fireflies. Um, and just builder genes. I got looking at Morph Market and looking at some of the things, and like one of the snakes that I absolutely fell in love with was Kabelka had the, what was it, fire spot nose, yellow belly, red stripe clown.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, not the
Pompeii
full
early
Pompeii,
stuff.
but
Close
the
though.
builder
Yeah, yeah.
blocks. And I absolutely fell in love with that animal. And that was my goal, was when I set out to do this, I said, I don't want to spend, because at the time that animal was 5,000. I'm like, I'm not
Oh
going to
yes,
spend
at least,
5,000
yeah.
to buy that animal. I'm going to make it. And it might take me a few years, but that'll be something for me to build for.
Right.
I'm not any closer now to building that snake than I was when I started this.
That's it. Yes, exactly.
I
And
have.
it's a shocker to people, like, what goes into that. It seems simple, right? You look at a sheet and you go, well, we could put this in that and blah. Dude, 10 years later, like the SpongeBob video,
I have
you know.
all of the ingredients. I just don't have them in the animals that I need to get them in right now. I'm working my way toward it, but
Right.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Greg
Yeah.
said this is slow, and then a year later, Greg said, "I can't do this. We need to buy a combo animal."
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's the thing with new people starting out. Those examples, I don't mean to go off on a tangent here, but those examples are a great what do you want to say, like a spotlight on the horizon that a person can get some ideas from. You can look at it and see what those interactions are, see how all of those genes they have combined reacted with each other and what they made, and give you a vision.
Yeah.
They're not a path laid in stone for you to follow. If you do that, you're going about it wrong. Look at what's in there, look at why it looks like what it does, and then build your own idea of what that path should be. It's not a path laid in stone for somebody to sprint as fast as they can up that path to get there, because you're not gonna. You're just not gonna. And
You're
look
going to
at,
try, but that path is going to
well,
change 3 times before you ever
yeah.
get close to it.
Yep.
right, exactly. And that's been a firm thing for us, at least as Morph. That's been a firm thing for us. We see these animals, we see the goal and what that created, but we take it backwards. We're like,
Yeah.
okay, the red stripe did this, the yellow belly did this, and what could we do on a different path and make something we want to see? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's lost a lot of time on new people. And you do want to include some of those genes because they're fantastic genes, but don't try to recreate something that far down the line. Just don't. So that's awesome. I mean, it's cool that you saw that and you liked it and you recognized things that you wanted to kind of push towards right out of the gate. So once you realize that, you backtracked a little bit. And now where do you sit with your path and pattern? How do you feel about that?
I we decided that we wanted to stretch our budget as best we could. We didn't want it to spend an arm and a leg in getting going. So we bought the best examples of the genes, often in single form or in het form. With a het, with a clown hat or a pied het for some of TJ's projects. So we
Sure.
just bought
Yep.
some of the best appearing genes that we could find at a reasonable price point, and just started collecting animals. And I can say it's going to take us a little longer. We're not coming out of the gate, building multiple recessives in our first year. But I can tell you that the animals that we're producing, I will 110% stand behind. I will absolutely stand behind the quality of the genes that I'm putting in the animals, and I'm comfortable with where those genes will take us.
Yeah, perfect. There's so much of that too, where if the gene's on the label, that is going to be a selling point, and to me, it's not at all. I want to see that snake. I want to
Yeah.
see, is that a good black pastel? I'm not going to buy 90% of those black pastels. I want that top 10% that looks like instantly that's a black pastel I want.
Mm-hmm.
So agree with you there. And not enough of that going on. I think there's a lot of shimming in the industry where people are, you can have 7 genes. If they're all bottom tier genes, you have a muddy mess of nothing
Well,
useful to me.
And it's
you know.
easy too, because you get trying to combine these genes, and you'll get an animal that 3 of the genes look phenomenal in, but maybe
Hmm.
1 or 2 just don't appear that great, or they're not the best representation that you feel they could be. But
Sure.
you've still got a powerful animal there. So,
Yeah,
maybe you just don't sell it
absolutely.
for as much as you thought, but
Right. Yeah, always trade-offs, 100%.
yeah.
Um, but a smart way to look at it, and I don't think a lot of people consider even the base value of what you just said, look at the genes for what they are. Can you immediately identify that gene and say, I want it because that's in there? Or is it is that gene in there? And I think there's a lot of that going on where people aren't even sure the gene's in there and they're buying the snake.
Yeah.
If it's not immediately represented and visible, at least step back and consider that purchase, I
Um,
guess is what I would say
and
to
and
somebody.
sometimes it surprises you. We've had genes that were not the best representation, and as a matter of fact, Wiz and those guys will tell you we had a surprise. Last year we had a girl that was orange stream that we thought was just a normal het clown. Turns out
Hmm?
she was orange stream. It was just a browned out representation of it. But when it hit
Sure.
in the younger animals, when it hit the spot
Instant
nose
pop.
clowns, it was just
Mhm.
bad. We were like, "What's this color coming from?" We couldn't understand it.
Yeah, then
So
you know
yeah,
what's in there. Yeah. Yep.
yeah,
I think I think when you talk about, specifically the being able to see those genes and kind of picking, so you take 3 snakes that all have the exact same gene, you look at them and you're like, okay, this one's the standout. And I feel like the people, Kabilka and Ozzy, they've done a really good job at that. When you watch their videos, watch the snakes they pull out, it's like every one is without question
Yeah.
immediately. And it's like they've really honed that and filtered it. And it's beneficial down the road because now you've got stock that when you pair those up, what you're going to get out of them. No
When
question.
we
TJ
bought
can tell you just a
those
couple of months ago.
back,
I'm guilty of second guessing Ozzy and like, why does he feel that his animals are worth so much more than some of the other animals out here? And then I watched someone do a facility tour at his place and saw, with good video quality,
All
the
right.
animals he was pulling out of
Every
his drawer.
snake in those tubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, I
And
remember
you're like,
telling her,
oh my
okay, I
God.
get it now. I get it. Now I
Yeah.
completely understand. Now I see it.
Yep. And it's hard to do when you're starting out, but like you were kind of talking about before, Greg, it's, at some point you're like, okay, I need these genes. And I open the wallet and here's what's in it, right?
Yeah.
So at some point, it's like you got to settle for what you can get to. And it does make it tough in the beginning. If you just had endless money, man, you could really jump forward in a lot of projects way past where the normal person's going to have to put in, 6, 7 years to get to that same point. And most of us just can't do that. So
we
one little goof up along the line
put
can set you back 3 years, or you're looking at spending money again, to try to replace whatever your goof up was. So,
Your female you've been waiting on for 2 years pops peens. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly.
I won't say we're immune to that. We had
No,
one. Well,
Twice.
I won't
Twice
even
in
go
this
into the
year.
story. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But
Uh,
purchases, and you took the word because they're from a big breeder, and you went, well, they have to know, and I won't say names. I'm never going to do that to somebody because everybody can make a mistake.
sure.
But it's on your assumption list. I mean, this person does X number of snakes a year. They can't be wrong on that. 2 years later, they're wrong on that. And you're like,
Well,
what?
and
Oh, come
we
on.
had it happen with animals that we bought, because one of the things that we did, we were waiting around on the grow outs, and it's like, we're gonna have to do something to get some animals out here. Why don't we try to pick up some adult females? So we
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
And we went on the quest like everybody goes on to find the adult clown female or the adult het clown female, and we got lucky a couple of times. Um, and then some of the other genes that we just kind of bought here and there to kind of splash in. Um, both of them we picked up third hand, or second hand, I guess you say. It wasn't from the original breeder. Um, so there's room for error there, and I'm not upset about it at all because we could have caught
No,
it just as
no.
easily as anybody else and just trusted um, what they said. And to all you guys out there, don't take offense, but we won't be doing that anymore.
Right. No, no.
No.
Exactly. And the
Yeah.
assumption, like I say, was based purely on their volume, how long they've been around, and
Yeah,
the reputations were there, and we went, this can happen to anyone, obviously. You know what I mean? And it's like, and that's why I won't say anything, because we could just as easily tomorrow send out a snake that we popped and we looked at, and we've known forever. It's a female and it's a male. Do you know what I mean? So,
we've done it too. We have to. We haven't
yeah,
sold it. We caught it before, luckily. But yeah, same thing.
yes, yeah. So, no hard feelings, and the things just are what
No.
they are. But it's so funny that in Blakers, I saw him pop a comment in there. That's why I pop and probe everything that comes in. We do now, but
Yeah.
in year 1 and 2, after you've read and you've looked at all these guys and you've kind of done your research on who you're buying from, your assumptions are there. It's like already built in. You know what I mean?
Here's a little funny story. So, not to go into the one John didn't really want to cover, but we had the goof up, right? And so we made that discovery, and it was like a mad dash to the tubs after that because we've got all these other ones that we haven't bred or anything that we also assumed, and we're probing and popping everybody. Going, how many do we have like this? But pretty hilarious.
Right.
I went
Yeah,
back
you
and
go
redid
through your whole collection at that point.
last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, TJ. What was that?
I said I went back and redid the entire hatchling rack last year.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you kind of have to at some point, and just to re-verify that you're not nuts, But,
Well, I kind of missed the when they're tiny, you can pop peens or you can pop glands, and the some of them had larger glands than others. So I had the conversation with Wiz. Now I have a permanent song stuck in my head in Wiz's voice that penises are red and glands.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
Wiz that song now. I'm gonna publish it one day. But yes,
right.
I checked our entire hatchling rack last year and found like 3 or 4 more females that were
Yeah.
supposed to be males.
Yeah. Thankfully.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and on that note, we went through all of last year, and the thing that drove us absolutely batty, it drove us absolutely nuts because we pulled out 12 to, what was it, 14 clutches last year? But we hit like 70% females.
Yeah.
We're going, there's no way, right? I mean, you're looking at these odds through all these clutches, and you're popping and you're probing, and like your tools are getting worn out. You're like, what? There's no way.
That can't be right.
Yeah, like, come on. It's like, what? And the odds just were not anywhere near what they should be. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's incubation temps. So we have no idea. But like, we hit inordinately high numbers of females last year, which is good and bad, depending on what you hit. But that also puts that little wrinkle in your brain, like, are we screwy? Are we doing this completely wrong? Do we need to bring in, breeder XYZ to double check all our, what's going
No,
on here?
we'll
Yeah.
find out. We'll find out this year because we have a banana pied male maker and there's a clutch. So if we get females out of a male maker, we'll know something's wrong.
Right. We start getting female bananas out of there when they really. But yeah, no. So yeah, all of that's good and bad, and we're a little bit drifting away from you guys and your story. So you
Well, I have a
ultimately.
question.
Oh, go ahead, Jamie. Yeah.
It's a change of subject, kind of. I know you
That's
guys
fine.
did your first show recently. Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah. What a ride.
I for like 5 days, but we had I work I work as currently as an emergency management, which is disaster planning for pretty much any disaster that can occur, natural or man-made. Which since COVID money has dried up, has not been great. Private consulting, especially when it's government work, it's kind of iffy to begin with. COVID money made that a great industry. Lack of COVID money kind of shut that shit down quick.
Sure.
It's not been horrible, but so I've been supplementing our income with the local hotspot bar, which is beautiful. I love working there. I'll never say a bad thing about it because it is. It's gorgeous. It's one of my favorite places I've ever worked. But we just reopened March 8th. So that was what, a week and a half? No, a week before the show, literally to the day. So I worked and worked and worked, and then Friday I had to work until 4, and then come home and get everybody labeled and packed and everything marked for the next morning. And we had a hour and a half drive and a 7 a.m. setup, so we had to be up at 4 a.m. We went to bed at 1 a.m. We got home at 10 Saturday night and had to be back up at 4:30 again Sunday morning to be back there by 7:30 or so Sunday morning.
That's
We did not make 4:30.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
I was thankfully off, and I did not leave the couch except to check on the hatchlings that had gone to the show. That was it. I crawled out of bed and climbed onto the couch and did not move.
How many
Gotcha.
snakes did you bring to the show?
28 total.
Okay.
And then we took ambassador steaks each day. But it was a great show. It was a show.
Yeah. Good.
Was a show
No,
me?
you're good.
Did you say?
It was one they've had in Hampton, and it was a really good show, actually. They had a lot of traffic.
Okay. How did you guys come out? Did you do fairly well? Was a good turnout and everybody digging through what you had?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We sat down the entire show either day. It was not that kind of show. I mean, like I said, we had ambassador snakes, so we always had somebody up there that wanted to touch the snakes and wanted to learn, which was probably my favorite part besides the sales. I mean, it's nice to finally see a little return, but
Yes.
we had a lot of people bring in their autistic or special needs children, which is one of my favorite parts of it. And then we had several adults come that just wanted to come conquer that fear finally. But we had 4 people between him and I and my sister-in-law and her daughter Saturday, and then Sunday my daughter came with us, and none of us sat down or stopped talking the entire 2 days. But we sold 4 animals, but a couple of them were higher dollars, so it definitely made it worth it. One of them was actually our newest clutch. So he can't even go home yet, but the guy was more than willing to pay for him in full to guarantee that he got him. So
Cool.
Nice.
What was it? What is it?
the baby that he bought was a male super pastel GHI yellow belly.
Oh,
And he's 6% het clown plus het hypo. We took them to kind of show off. Honestly, the 3 we took were eating well, but the first one out of the clutch, we're trying to confirm if it's ever been made by someone else before. We're kind of waiting for somebody to pop in and show us some pictures of it, but it is a pastel yellow belly Enchi GHI blade clown plus het hypo. Did I miss a gene, Greg?
Nice.
6
Just
genes.
trying to go along with you as you were going.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I kept
Enchi.
trying at the
Enchi's
show,
in
and
there
I gave
too.
up and finally wrote it.
Okay. But you briefly touched on something that I think we brought up last week too with Vance and that special needs group of children and just people in general really do have kind of a natural attraction and gel with reptiles for the reason that they're so chill, they're so relaxed, they're so easygoing, and there isn't the barking and the clawing and the nipping and the jumping and all of the hyperactive things of a lot of other pets going on. That there's an
If
odd connection there that allows them to reach out and touch and feel and experience a different part of the world than they would normally be exposed to. Such a great point. And you had some of that going on, right?
we
Yeah.
had a half dozen families come up with autistic children of various ages. Actually, one of our customers was a father who bought one for his son. Um, and to just see the excitement and the joy in that boy's face as he held that snake, um, dude, that's at that point I was ready to give it away.
Right, right.
That's
100%.
TJ will tell
so
you she had a girl that came up there that just sat and had a snake around her neck, and she just sat there and looked around. And her mother came up to TJ and said, that's the most that child has taken in her surroundings in months. Just in that
said it was
time
the
where
first
she
time
just had
broke.
something that I guess through touch and sensation was able to calm her that much that she was able to find that confidence. I mean, it's amazing how it just unlocks these kids.
That's
Yep.
pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Her
had.
mom said it was the first time she had spoken public since they had moved here from Chicago 3 months ago.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. She was a sweet girl, but bless her heart, she was locked inside herself, and her mother was just tormented, and it was cool to see. So her mom said that they were looking to get her one, but they had to move into their home first because they were transferred here. So
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we
um,
had well, I won't say similar because I don't know this girl's background, but we went to a fall bash with a lot of snakes, and we brought a lot of our super comfortable snakes, our lap snakes, things that we knew were like bulletproof. They're not going to strike. There's nothing about these snakes that would be at all offensive. And we had a very thin girl. She's got all of 4'10", hair down, hood up, super quiet. She's a college girl, so she's made her way there and she's made her way through life, but very non-social, very
Yeah.
quiet.
Really
And she
reserved.
took Cloud out, Jamie's
My
favorite baby.
baby.
Yep, grabbed him out of our tubs, selected him, or Jamie probably nudged her a little bit that way, whatever. But she literally took that snake, and I am not kidding you. We were there from 5 or 6 in the afternoon till like 10 at night, and she sat in a corner in her comfortable little chair, and she had that snake the entire time.
Yeah, she
Didn't
was
talk to
falling
anyone
asleep with
else.
him. You would look
She,
over there
yeah,
and she would be like, whoa.
The snake fell asleep.
Yeah,
yeah,
both of them
he
were
fell
falling
asleep
Yeah.
too, and he
asleep.
was just chilling. He's like, "This is the best thing ever," and she was like, "This is the best thing ever." So, I mean,
Yeah.
those things are intangibles, I think,
Yeah.
about this community too, that doesn't get talked about a lot. We talk about market, and we talk about genes, and we talk about, hey, they can be a great pet, but there's a lot of untapped area of this that could mean a lot to a lot of people, and in a big way. We hear about groups of people like Ken with the RWO group, that these guys are recovering from different things, whether it's
Hmm.
alcoholism or drug
Addictions. Yeah.
abuse and,
Yeah.
different addictions and things, where these pull those people out of those scenarios. And how much better pet and influence can you ask from something so simple, And why aren't these more pushed, and why aren't these more on the forefront of an acceptable animal to have in your house? This shouldn't be something you mention in a grocery store and people go, "Oh God," and they veer their cart into the produce, and slam it into the heads of lettuce, going in a freak out mode. It just shouldn't be that way. So
Yeah,
super
they have a
awesome you guys
bad
got that
rep for sure.
experience too.
Well, and
Uh,
how many friends do you have when you tell them that you breed snakes? Well, you don't have to worry about me ever coming to your house.
Ah,
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
motherfucker, you never
Super
came here
common.
before, so keep on trucking.
yeah. A lot
Just
of
keep that
Greg,
car pointed west.
I mean, just keep that same energy and roll on, bro. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the bar is actually a really good outlet for that too, because if I ever have time to actually stop and talk, some people are very interested in it. I've had social workers that were traveling through and they got interested in hearing about it, and they actually went and researched programs about it. And then when they passed back through again, they came and told me they had looked to get a reptile in their counseling office. They got a beardy and they got a ball python to their kids. Um, I had told her to kind of look at it as a live fidget spinner for some of the kids, and
yeah, it's a good
she said,
idea.
like, they'll come in there and play with the little snake. They'll just sit there and hold it, and then they'll actually talk to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Crazy.
John and I recently went to Florida and we went on a fishing boat trip and talked to this waitress and she had a ball python. Like it was so coincidental, it's weird the people you run into.
Yeah, and it should be born more. I mean, it should be like, hey, I also have a French bulldog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It should be way more mainstream than it is. And I think we can all kind of promote and push that way to where these markets that a lot of people are saying are oversaturated become a need rather than oversaturated. There's a need for these snakes that are 2, 3 codoms that are just beautiful snakes, but somebody needs that pet, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I think there's a lot of room for that to grow that direction. So
I think
Mm.
talking
anyway,
about it can be touchy, but I mean, I've been at the bar now for a year and I've talked about it. If I have time to actually talk about it, it can come up easily. And like, I had an Australian couple the other day, and it came up, and we were talking about it. And the guy pulled up a picture, and he's like, "Well, you might like this picture." And he pulled up a picture of the biggest carpet python I have ever seen. Wait
super
for
pretty.
yeah, it's gorgeous. It's huge and it's curled up in his backyard. And I'm like, I'm waiting for I had to get rid of that son of a bitch. And he's like,
Right.
well, what? Did you have somebody come remove it? He's like, oh, no. He's like, uh-uh. He's like, he comes back. He goes up in his tree when he's full, and then he comes down on the ground and eats some rodents, and then he goes back up in his tree and he stays up there happy. And I'm like, so you actually let him like live in your yard? He's like, he's safe, he's happy, he's pretty. We don't care.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
one of them.
I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, that was
Right.
cool. I mean, that bar, honestly, it has the weirdest like influx of people, so it's really cool. I don't know where else you could find that. Maybe even Florida is probably one of the better places to find that, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right, we drifted way off on some oddball topics, but we knew we were gonna we're
Welcome to
having
interviewing.
beers and all of this and that.
Weren't you the
So
one saying you were going to steer the ship? I'm just saying.
yeah, I'm not great at that. I think we're on a reef right now. Can anybody look out the side? Um, so Greg, TJ, you guys have your stuff going. You've been at it for a couple of years. What is your basic philosophy or plan, or how do you see this for you two going forward? Is this a full-time thing? Is it something you both thoroughly enjoy and you wanted a supplementary income? Let's
Yes.
just gauge what your plan is for it.
Just
Um,
yes.
Um, I, I think going in, we kind of decided that we wanted to go and give it a try. And if we could grow this to the point that it would provide enough income for us to care for our animals, expand our animals as we needed to, and travel the show circuits and kind of do this at our leisure, then we were happy with that. I I'm not out here trying to be the next Justin Kabilka. I mean, it'd be nice to have a little extra, spending money for the animals, especially right now because things have been tight with her being laid off. But yeah, right now we're just kind of enjoying it and doing our thing with it.
Okay, gotcha. But do you have a set game plan? Do you feel like there's this map for what you would like it to be? Like if you were, let's grab a year. I'm gonna quit beating around the bush here. Let's say year 8, and you want this to be somewhere. Where are you steering the ship? Do you want this to be your income and you guys can chill at home, love your pets, love your animals, and have this drive your income? Or is this always going to be kind of a side hustle for you to fill up gaps, to have a nice income and do your vacations things? Where does it sit on that chain for priority, I guess, business wise?
Honestly, for me at this point, I'm just putting my focus into it and reaping the benefit from it, both mentally and health wise for me. And I, right now, this is the greatest source of stress relief for me. So I don't want to drive it to a point that I lose that in it. Because if
Nice.
I
Okay.
lose that in it, I'm lost for it.
That makes sense.
100%.
But
Yep.
I want let's put all we can into it. Let's throw ourselves into it and see where it leads. And if it goes somewhere bigger, great. It's like I told T when we started this. If we go out here and we're able to make it and create a business that can support us, that's awesome. That's living the dream, right?
Hmm.
But if we don't, and it doesn't necessarily go that large, something happens to the market again, like where we are now. I've got a house full of animals that I absolutely love, and I'm okay with it. Here I am, one way or
Awesome.
another.
Yeah.
And that was the driving factor behind the question. Not that there was a right or wrong answer. I got that a lot as I was young. I'm a painter. I draw. I do a lot of things that are kind of off baseline interests for people. And that question would come up all the time. Why don't you paint all the time? Well, if I paint all the time, I don't enjoy painting anymore.
Right.
I lose my enjoyment for painting. As soon as that becomes your thing or your focus, or that's what's making you thrive, the enjoyment in it goes away. So that, I guess that was the line I was trying to find with you guys, is where does that sit with you? You know, um, to me internally, that's important, not to the end means, but to who you are as a person and to get to know you guys a little better in that direction. Because I feel that all the time as completely something separate, but on the same vein. You love it, you have a passion for it, it enhances you, it makes you feel better, you enjoy it while you do it. But I don't want this to drive me daily to a point where I no longer enjoy it. And that's what I'm picking up. Is that accurate or is that way off base?
No, you're on point. I mean, passion can be fleeting. Um,
Absolutely.
if you are no longer enjoying the journey and it becomes more of a chore than it does, a hobby. I don't want it to ever not be a hobby for me. I'll be honest. Um, and if I can make money doing something that I love and sharing these animals and my enjoyment with others, that's exactly what I set out to do. And as long as I'm able to do that, whether it's 5 people a year or 500 or 5,000, I'm going to take the same thing out of that. Um, the money, I'd give them away if I could, but unfortunately, they're not cheap, and the
Right, right,
upkeep is definitely not cheap. Um,
right.
well,
Gotcha.
if you've got one or two, it's peanuts. You all know, but
Yeah.
when you break that 100 point, it gets expensive quickly, and there's a lot of things that can just upset the apple cart that you don't foresee.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So we touched on the number right there, but where do you guys sit right now? And I know you have multiple species. I see all the little terrariums and things around you too, which I do want to touch on because they're badass. Number one, but also just as a base guideline here, where are you guys sitting in the ball python side of it? Let's give a number, and you guys don't have to be super accurate, but like breeder females, breeder males. Like, what do you have sitting in your racks and number wise?
All species, we have 147 animals in the house. Ball pythons, there are 136 of those, and we're sitting at about a 2-to-1 male to females.
Okay, cool. Two
Sorry,
females to male or male to female?
no, male to female, 1 to 2.
Okay, 1 to 2. So you have
Yeah,
twice as many females as male. Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, give
Now
or take
most of
grow
those
out.
females are grow outs at this point, um,
Sure, sure.
because anything that didn't have peens and was visual this year got held back. So,
Yep,
We've got
gotcha.
20 females that are on breeder, that are breeder ready or already breeding or coming online in the next few months. Um, there are another 10 pending weight and follicles towards the fall. And then the other, there's another 40 that will grow in the next 1 to 2 years to come online that were either bought in the last year or holdbacks from this year.
Okay, gotcha. So really a nice group coming up, and a lot of stuff that you're anticipating. You held it back, and you want it for a reason. So that's a
Mm-hmm.
great project trajectory. I mean, it's going the right direction for what you have.
yeah,
If
20,
if you
25, and 26, our output there's going to be a significant change in
Sure,
the caliber of animal that we're going to be able to produce. It's just a
yep.
matter of getting them together.
Yep.
But that's the natural. I guess if you were to look at a breeder progression, that's a natural breeder progression to get things into the system that are beneficial, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
looks fantastic for you guys from what I'm hearing
I
anyway.
mean, if you go the COVID breeder route, then you just dump in $20,000 from the start on 3 animals
Right.
and
Well,
blow your bugle, and next thing you know, you're a big breeder. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a lot to learn coming in, and I one of the things that I would do when I was up here with a snake in my hand or laying on my chest is I dove into any books that I could pick up, and I spent days and days on the internet researching genes, researching all of the different complexes. And I see so many breeders now that are out here throwing snakes together, and they haven't taken the time to do that. And I'll be honest, TJ will tell you that's one of my pet peeves. They depend on asking someone else, hey, what do you think this will look like with this? Or what happens if you put these two together? Well, it gives you a lethal combo, so don't do it. But
Right.
moreover, do your research before you jump headlong into that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. And
figure out what you want.
things that are easily found and researched, right? That's my
Yeah,
pet peeve. Like if it's
yeah.
the first thing on your Google search, you didn't look at all kind of a deal. I understand there's some starter questions. I understand that there's some confusion over issues with early breeders. Um, and I fully get the idea of someone going out on the inexpensive end, and they're going, I like this. Well, let's just go with a super simple combo like GHI Mojave. They look amazing in a two gene combo, right? So somebody
Mhm.
goes out and they buy a GHI and they buy a Mojave and they want to learn the mechanics of those snakes. They want to learn how to keep them. They want to learn how to breed them. They want to learn husbandry and temps and get up to speed with that before they get really serious. But the people that don't look at any of that stuff at all and just grab 20 snakes,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
top of my skull almost comes off. I almost lose it with impatience with that because there's so much of that through the COVID era.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
and
Where,
while I was sitting here laid up some days, unable to really walk much, that was one of the things that I kind of took to do. I said, okay, this week I'm going to learn this complex. So each day I would take a different gene. And I'd sit here watching TV or whatever, and I'd have my tablet out, and I would just thank God for Morph Market and World of Ball Pythons, Chris Hardwick.
yep,
Love him or hate him, I learned a lot from that guy.
I like
Um,
Chris.
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, just
Did
because,
for, I mean, some of the weird shadiness over, but yeah, a
yeah,
great
yeah, but
resource, you know?
I mean, he's a to sit there and watch those videos, and then he would actually go and he would spark the interest, and
Yep.
then that's all it would take. You watch that video, you spend the rest of the day looking at those genes you looked at. So, each day I would just pick a different gene and just kind of roll through like that. And that's how I taught myself the genes, the interactions of the genes and the complexes and what to look for and what to look out for. And it doesn't take much, but you can't buy that. You can't buy it anywhere. You can't throw your money at it and have it there.
No.
You've got to spend the time to get it.
And purely just keeping for some time prior to even considering pairing. You have to know those animals. I mean, we've been in it
Yeah.
for years, and there's still things where we're like, "What the hell is that?" We open the tub, we're like, "Why? Why is she doing that? What is
Yep.
going?" I've never seen that before, you know. And we've had 50, 60 clutches. You know what I mean? And not that that's a lot. I realize that's a small percentage in the overall, but we feel like we kind of know what's going on, and there are surprises every day. Every
we
day you're learning
we did our
something, you
first
know.
corn snake pairing last week. That was interesting. That
Yeah,
was
I,
that's
the
I mean,
colubrids I am not familiar with at
if
all.
you ever have the
Flavor.
opportunity to watch that, that is it is so different than ball pythons.
Yeah,
It's interesting. It really is.
we had one we need to go back to. Jamie just let him go, but Kate Diesel, we're gonna give him a little special treatment because fuck this guy. I mean, just fuck this guy. Honestly, I'm not gonna get into details, but but he's asking you guys directly, so we're gonna put him up there. And I don't mean that. Katie knows I don't mean that, but that's how I'm going to operate tonight. So, reptiles, what other do you have outside of ball pythons? And that's kind of what I touched on with your terrariums and things. We can see you've got some other stuff going on there, but what do you got, guys? Fill us
TJ,
in.
that was directed at you. You take that one.
Oh, I have I'm trying to figure out why my camera is suddenly like far left, not like I didn't do anything to it. But anyway, I have a gargoyle gecko, the one that Greg was talking about. Um, and then I last year I picked up a PCI.
Yep, you sure did.
Greg's
Um,
favorite, apparently.
Uh,
he, he,
no,
he
she's
was
a
not.
sweetheart. But
Oh,
I was like, honey, do you have any idea how big that animal is going to be? And when she first brought it home, I thought it was a red tail. And I was like, have
oh,
you
okay.
any idea how big that animal's going to be?
Yeah, you're big. It's okay, though.
We'll get there.
Evidently, my face is in the camera for you guys, but for me, it looks like I'm looking at my ceiling. So as long as you guys
You
No,
can
look,
see.
you look good.
looks perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reflection I'm seeing on the console thing is showing my ceiling, so I don't know. But yes, I do have a she is a red rum VPI, BCI. She is gorgeous. I had no intentions of getting into boas that soon, or anytime soon, but I saw VPI and Pet Paradise. In case you can't tell, that place is kryptonite. And
Maybe
she,
it's sunshine.
yeah, well, she's gone, but I thought, well, I don't know what red rum is, but let's see the VPI because that's our xanthic gene. And he's like, well, as he pulls the drawer open, he's like, it's not ball python. And before he could get out that it was a boa, this little teeny palm-sized ball of gorgeousness looked up at me with her little pink eyes, and I was done. She's gorgeous. She's just like coral colored and beautiful, and I sent pictures to Greg and he said no, and I said yeah, okay, and 3 weeks later we went in there and he got a rainbow boa and I got my boa.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So she's gonna cause us to have to move a little sooner than we wanted or expected to, but she will have her own little bedroom and the boas will be my next expansion species.
You just have the 2 right now?
I just have the one
Okay.
BCI. Greg's got the rainbow boa. That's his.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have 3 corn snakes currently, and no, 4 corn snakes.
Okay. Do you still
And
have your original gecko?
Yep. She's here
Yeah.
in the back room. She's the princess. She I grab her here in a second, but she's large.
Oh,
Not fat. She's just big. Or
yeah, I'd
whatever.
love to see her.
Yeah, hang on. I'll go grab her.
you go get her.
Somebody go get her.
So what do you got all behind you there, Greg?
So, I don't know how well you're able to see here. So the stack that I have, work with me, shoulder. So all the way in the back here, I've got 3 2x4 by 12 enclosures that I built. And in the center of those, I put a divider. So they're actually 6 2x2 enclosures there. So I've got 6. It's where we keep a lot of our yearling balls in there that we've bought and been waiting to grow out.
Sure.
I don't know if you can see my one guy there. He's doing acrobatics for you now.
Yeah, he's going crazy.
These enclosures here, these are my bioactives. So I've got 2 corn snakes, and I keep my rainbow boa in here. And this one is just one that I just got set up for my carpet python. He's just a little guy. Let me set him back in here, and I might be able to give you a shot of that.
Let's
So
grab
you built-
TJ real quick. She's
Oh,
got that
that's what we
lychee.
got.
Is that a lychee or
No, not through there.
No, she is a guard.
Gargoyle? Okay.
Aw. What's her
Oh,
name?
cool.
Aurora.
Her eyes are huge.
Yeah.
She's not a small girl. She was kind of underweight when we got her.
She ain't underweight now.
She's not underweight.
Little heifer.
And I had several people tell me that she was overweight or had to be a hybrid or something. And no, she is just a very large version of her species.
Yeah, she's
She is a
cool.
large specimen, so she's. I'm trying to get her to be still long enough you can actually see how long she is. But
Does she just shed, or does she actually have like white toes?
No, she's got a shed sticking. She was actually
Oh,
chewing on.
okay,
I went to pull her out,
gotcha.
but yeah, she's yeah. So she's
She's like, I'm out this bitch.
yeah, she's rather large. She eats a lot.
I'm out this bitch, mom. Put me
From head
down.
to heels.
Yeah,
Bye.
she kind of
Yeah.
defies all the rules for gargs. Evidently, they know the ones that say they won't eat in front of you and that they stop eating insects when they get older.
Yeah.
She still eats about 10 or so crickets a week, and she will stand there and eat in front of you like she's never eaten in her life and stare at you the whole time.
Right.
All
Our
Greg's about to
gecko
say,
goes in
to be
spurts.
or not to be. That is the.
Kal-El says he ain't coming out tonight.
Oh,
He's in there, but he's got
he's
himself
in
all.
the skull.
Yeah.
What is
Oh, there he comes. Come on, bud. You coming out? Huh?
Hold it up a little bit, Greg.
Right. Give us a Shakespearean quote, God
There you
damn
go.
it.
I can't get him. Any other time, he's all about.
Oh,
coming
look at
out.
how well that's
right.
so cute.
Wedged right in there, yeah.
Yeah, he is. That's funny.
And now you're about to see Greg get bitten.
Uh-oh.
Live, large, and in charge. Come on.
Come out of there. That's funny.
I have my original, or one of the corn snakes that I have. I had this in his enclosure, and I had to take it out because
Get
that
stuck in
little
an
son of a
eye
bitch
or
has bitten me more than all of the snakes in this house combined. And he would do this.
That's funny.
I don't know what you're talking about. He loves me.
Yeah,
Do you have your ball pythons in the basement or upstairs?
they're all upstairs. Well, actually,
Okay.
they're all in the living room, dining room area.
Okay.
I have 6 balls up here,
Hey. Put
and
it
then all the
just
rest of them are in the room that TJ's in there. And then we've got T. If you move to the side a little bit, you can probably show those enclosures there behind you.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
no, you can't. In the living room,
See a
we
couple.
have 3 more of the big enclosures that I built.
under
So
the
what
bulb.
temperature do you keep your house at?
Cold. Greg's a
I'm a polar bear, so there's a lot of heat tape in this house.
What are you doing?
Gotcha. Come on.
Yeah,
Come
so
on.
being in Wisconsin, we struggle with that a lot as far as like keeping rooms humid and in the right range for us. I feel
Yeah.
like when we bounce around, the animals suffer more than anything. And hitting our breeding cycles, right? So if you have a 4 or 5 month stretch where you're sitting at 72 degrees in the snake room, but your humidity is floating around 50, they tend to all kind of shut down, if that makes any sense. Where if you can get that up closer to 78 ambient and you can get that in a 65 to 70 range, they're all fully live wire and their cycles are going the way they belong. So between
We
those, we have a really rough time here. We just
we
do.
really hadn't noticed that. So last year, like everyone was talking about, all of our girls went really late last year. It was July and August before we were um, dropping clutches, or getting pairings and dropping clutches. And this year, everybody's been going pretty early. I mean, we've already got 2 clutches in the incubator, and we've got 6 girls in various stage of ovulation right now, and a few more that we're pairing. Um, I don't know. I really feel like the El Nino screws with them a lot more than we understand.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, you get barometric stuff going all
Yeah.
over the board, and yeah, I mean,
They're
sounds reasonable.
so sensitive to barometric pressure. Now that I am so much more sensitive to barometric pressure, I get a feel
My
for that.
back! Right. God
Oh,
damn it, my
man.
back! Breed them! Pair them up! Hurry!
Look,
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. It's like you have your own internal fucking snake pairing sensor
I
built
was a
in.
guy who would refuse to take an aspirin, and now I'm a
Yeah,
guy who's
yeah.
living on narcotics now. So
Yeah, gotcha.
yeah, he said he ain't coming out right now. Screw y'all.
All right. Well, we're hitting that stage of night where we like to highlight Jamie just because she's so goddamn cute and sassy, number one. But we got a special round for you guys tonight, and
Oh
we're going
boy.
to start it with TJ. So, TJ, you got to get rid of that gorgeous guacamole dip gecko you got in your hand right now.
Aurora vanished.
Because you don't want her to hit these flames. These flames are coming hard and they're coming fast. But we're going to switch you over to off-topic questions with Jamie, and you are the first victim tonight. And it's just nonsense, guys. But everybody seems to like this. As far as the feedback we've gotten, Jamie's the winner by a long shot. Way cooler than I am, obviously. So everybody's like, you guys got to do more of this off-topic shit. So here we go. We're going to set you up in here.
That seat's gonna be boiling when she sits down. Well, I just want to welcome everybody and thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to be cranking up the hot seat tonight with a double dose. We're going to start with TJ. Are you ready to sizzle?
Sure.
All right. Sure. I say that all the time. John teases me, but okay. So, photos or videos,
Um, Photos generally.
pool or hot tub,
Pool,
mountains or beach,
beach,
in-store shopping or online shopping,
online,
playlists or podcasts,
playlist.
speed or accuracy.
I think that depends on what you're doing, but
I'm going to go with accuracy according to the length it took to answer.
yeah, actually, but yeah, that's my go-to. But it depends on what you're doing. So
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Are you an on time person or never on time?
I am a minute man.
Yes. Growth or security?
Mm, Security.
Shoes or slippers?
Barefoot.
Would you rather call me or text me?
Text.
Dreamer or realist?
Dreamer.
Do you want to see a starry night or a thunderstorm?
Sorry.
Beer or wine?
Beer.
Do you see the glass half full or half empty?
The glass always has to be empty. I have to start over again.
Oh, I like that. How would your best friend describe you?
What? That's not
She's got a burning ass right now.
I am I'm the shovel in the trunk ready to go friend.
Awesome. What color best describes your personality?
Red.
If you compared yourself to an animal, which animal would you be?
Mm, I've always gone with horse. Just
They're wild and free.
no, it's more of a fight or flight thing.
Okay. What is your go-to restaurant?
Um, Most times it's sushi.
Okay. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you choose?
Scooby Doo.
I love Scooby-Doo. And last, what would you like to be known for?
I I don't know, honestly. I've never needed spotlight. I honestly just want people to know that I love my family and I try to take care of everybody. I'm honestly known generally for being pretty mean, but that's
Just being you. You just want to be you.
yeah. It came with the territory from my career, just like Greg's. It came with rank and the need to be that, but that's not me and it's not what I want to be known for.
Yeah. I'm going to let you off the, off the hot seat for now. We'll let you off the hook and bring Greg on.
Okay.
Ooh, smells like burnt ass in here. What the hell?
Are you ready?
Let's do this.
What,
Well, all
TJ?
right then.
Oh. All right, Greg, here we go.
Let's do it.
Roller coasters or bumper cars?
Roller coasters.
Underestimated or overestimated?
Underestimated.
Logic or emotion?
Logic.
Rats or ASF?
Rats.
Laser tag or escape room?
I've never done either one.
What?
Escape room.
Okay, they're actually really fun. Would you rather be powerful or be popular?
Neither. Powerful, I guess, if I were going to be something.
Okay. Speed or accuracy?
Accuracy.
Growth or security?
Security, I think.
Physical work or mental work?
Mental.
Animals or people?
Animals all day long.
Rich and bored or employed and tired?
Employed and tired.
Passenger or driver?
Definitely driver.
Tell a white lie or a painful truth?
Painful truth.
Have more time or more money?
More time.
If a movie was made about your life, who would you want to play you?
Jim Carrey.
Very cool, yes. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you choose?
Stewie Griffin.
Okay. What is the best movie you've seen recently?
What was the last movie I saw? It's Star Wars.
What is your go-to restaurant?
I like my sushi.
Okay. Both of you like sushi. That's cool. If you could be granted three wishes, what would they be?
For more wishes, I I don't know. Time, intelligence, and devotion, I guess.
Those are good. And last but not least, what would you like to be known for?
Taking my own path.
Yeah, that's a good one. that wraps it up for that. Thank you guys for
Right.
playing. And I want to tell everybody, if you're enjoying the show, please don't forget to go like and subscribe. Back to
If
you,
you in
John.
that chat and you ain't liking, get to it.
Yeah, if you ain't liking, you're killing us, people. Come on, we're in here for a goddamn
Right.
reason.
Don't be
I'm
creepy.
gonna highlight TJ.
Yeah.
But we're back. Thanks, guys. That is a goofy little segment, but honestly, I don't think there's a different way, like real quick, to like get a personality check on
I
people.
love it.
You know what
It
I mean?
works.
I do think it works, as weird
It
and
works.
goofy and shit as it is. But anyway, you got TJ highlighted with her crooked smile and her. She's
Always.
like, just stop picking on me, John.
No, you're good. I've never been able to smile straight. It just doesn't work.
No,
Same. Same.
it was cute.
And
I was
it's
not
actually
giving you a
worse
tough time.
because I had a migraine earlier, and I get facial droop when I have a migraine. So
Ah,
I
gotcha.
look like a patient.
John has a crooked smile too.
Super crooked. I'm super crooked everywhere. But right. Yeah, TMI, Greg. Pause.
Pause.
So
I'm
if we're
sorry,
going
Wiz. I
into
missed
this,
the opportunity.
Wiz already left, man. He's like, I'm out this shit. I ain't seen enough pauses for me.
Wiz spends every Saturday night. He bless his heart. He survives us.
Yeah, dude, Wiz is a patient man. I will admit those big panels, and part of the reason we go about this the way we do is that I can't handle like 10, 12 people in a shot and like organize and like I just can't do it. So I watch those and they're great because you get all those personalities all kicking in, but
There's a
there's
lot of
no
people
way
that
I
don't get
can.
heard.
And well, that too, right?
Yeah. There's
So,
a lot of good statements sometimes that just go missed because
yep.
there's so much going on, and yeah, I think you and I had that
Yeah.
conversation.
We have, yeah, we've talked actually quite a bit, Greg, and I appreciate you for that, for my ability to just go on Instagram and go, Greg,
Hey,
what the
look, man,
fuck, man, and
that's what we're
you'll
here for.
actually answer it with like, yeah, what the fuck? I mean, you just shoot it right back at me, and like, and it's genuine, and that's important. It really is. So it's awesome to have you guys out here, but I want to give you guys a little bit of a chance between the two of you. I don't know what your thoughts and impressions were coming on something like this. It's a new show. We have no blueprint or map or anything. We want to get to know you better, but do you have things you want to showcase? Do you have a point you want to make? Do you have something you want to verbally say without us interrupting you? I mean, the option is open right now, and it's your mic to say the
Do you
things you
want
want to
us
get off your
to
chest.
play Jim Carrey's Your Balls Are Showing?
Yes, I
Right?
do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that case, you don't have to ask twice. You don't have to ask twice. It's all queued up. But
No,
but honestly, I mean,
I think that one thing is I see one of the things that really was a huge draw for me coming in was seeing that the way that the communities that we got into, we got in some really good groups with Keys and with Emilio Villarino with his group, with Wiz and his group. I mean, just some really good groups of like-minded individuals who really just meshed and mold together well. And it was a nice, calming, and peaceful environment, and still is. By the way, if you haven't joined in those three groups, I strongly recommend it. Another one coming up is Jeremy Warford. He's still kind of small, but he's building it up as well.
yep,
But
100%. Yep.
outside of those groups, you go and you look on Facebook at some of these groups, just these ball python groups out there, and people are just outright nasty in these groups to one another. And there's just there's no room for that in this. We're so much stronger when we're operating together and when we're learning from each other. And by learning from each other, I don't mean I'm telling you what an idiot you are because you didn't do this, this, and this in your enclosure the way that I see that you should do it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
there's just so much of that going on, and I've noticed that there are some of the old head breeders, I'll say, that are
They're
coming
pretty
out and
staunch, in their position.
voicing their opinion in some ways that I feel aren't necessarily warranted,
Yeah.
and those older opinions aren't necessarily wanted or valuable at this point. The way that things were done 20 years ago is not the way that they're done now, and it's not the way they're going to be done now. And I think that it's a good thing that we've moved beyond that, but we just need to continue that movement. People got to stick together.
Yeah, 100%. The community push and the things that we've seen in the last year, as far as everybody getting in that same mindset, to where those haters, those drama causers, those people are becoming the outcast rather than the accepted, is the right direction. That
Yeah.
needs to be the outlier in the community, not what drives the community. So 100% agree. I know we talked about this super briefly, and I don't mean to cut you guys off short in the things we could talk to you guys. Literally, we could hang out for hours. This could go on forever. But we
Dun.
had some pippers today, and it's our first clutch of the year in 2024. This is the first clutch to pip. Jay saw him from work. He has a cam set up in the incubator, and he's like, I got a head sticking out. I'm like, God damn it.
It's my
We're,
favorite.
we're going to have to cut these live. So we're going to do that. We're going to cut these live with you guys. And we want to go ahead and put Jay on the cam. We're going to
All right.
jam him. I'm going to remove him right now, actually, from the scene. And we're going to get him on his cell. He's just going to post it up in a little pre-pod thing. He's going to get the tub out. He's going to cut him. Not a huge clutch, nothing exceptional or strange or whatever, but we do have a shot at some stuff we need still. Some super gravel, some super pastel, super gravel babies that we're going to let you guys look at as we cut them, and you just go, Greg's like, no, that's not a gravel. Yeah, that's a gravel, Greg. Just be
Yo,
quiet over
John.
there. We're just going to get opinions, as these things are getting cut, and it's fun to do live, They've all pipped. They're coming out. There's no reason to question whether you should cut this or not. It's not controversial, but it's our first clutch for the year. So, congrats, fuckers. You get to watch us cut some eggs. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Congrats.
And I know
to you,
Greg
man.
appreciate it. Yeah. I know
Should-
Greg's just going to laugh at that. I don't mean to say fuckers in a weird way, but it's just like a little jab in
It
there.
fits, man. It fits.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever. It's
If it works, it
beyond
works.
everything. Yeah.
Should
So-
we do trivia quick while Jay's getting ready?
Yes, actually, if you have a
Good
trivia
thinking.
question ready to go, pop
I
it
do.
up.
It
Okay.
only allows me so many characters, so I'm gonna pop it up, but I'm also gonna read it how I want it to type it, kind of. Okay. How many total reptiles in Greg and TJ's household currently?
Ah,
I can't answer
dude,
that
that's a
question.
tough fucking question. Greg can't even answer it. Good luck, fuckers.
All right,
We're gonna get this right.
First person in the chat to get the correct answer gets $10 Forge coin. Mono. Wait, no. It's one. It's K Diesel again.
No way.
Yeah.
There's no.
Drop it.
No. I'm gonna cut
Am
him
I-
off. He can't type anymore.
K Diesel.
There's no.
Yeah.
No. KD
Hunter?
did not get that right.
Yeah,
Way
he
back.
did. I wrote it down.
God damn it.
Look, and he got even more specific.
Mono had the right number for total of ball pythons. So,
Oh my god.
but
All
not
right.
total reptiles. Yeah.
So just a heads up here. Next time we drop in PUBG, I am shooting Katie in the back of the head. Like as soon as we land, Katie, as soon as we land, look for that bullet, brother. It's coming right out of that M9
coming.
that we get equipped with. Yeah, because
You guys had so much information, though. I had like 6 questions written down, and I had to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Jesus, I don't want to add another $10 to KD. We can
Yes,
hear
we
you
can hear
still.
you.
Okay.
No, we see your face. It's a mug shot.
I can see your nose hairs, man.
Yes.
Who said
Morph
no?
Forge
Was that
cutting
you, Kevin?
board.
That was
All right, we're going to add him to the scene so everybody can see him setting up. We're going to cut some eggs tonight.
We should make him a little bigger.
No, well, we're going to do that. Just bear with me.
It's a nice
We'll
looking
get you
I'm
all set up.
I'm barren.
Yeah, isn't that pretty?
I'm barren.
All right, so we're going to drop everybody else out of this. No hard feelings. We're going to hear you guys back there.
Everybody wants
Oh,
to know how
solo.
many eggs are there.
But no, you know what? We're going to leave you all in here so everyone can talk,
Yeah.
but we're going to do this. Look at that.
Dun dun.
Dun, dun.
How fancy is that
I
shit,
like it.
guys? Huh? That's not bad.
Like it.
So one of my old bosses actually made the cutting board for us.
Nice.
Oh, look at these heads. Okay. See some
Oh.
pastel stuff in there.
That's not pastel. Come on, man.
Oh, yeah.
damn
We got
boy.
pastels in there.
All right.
Pairing is a pastel gravel to a pastel gravel.
Yep.
We want those super gravels,
Let's get
guys.
those
Come on now.
supers.
Fingers crossed.
Yep. Looking for the super pastel, super gravel. That's the king here. So,
That would be sexy.
all right.
Now we have some of those, but we want more.
Which egg do we want, guys?
Because
TJ.
when you like something, you want more.
That one right in the middle.
TJ?
Just
Call
screaming.
it, TJ.
Oh,
That
I want
guy.
the one on the bottom right. Up. No, over. To my right. Yeah. Nope.
That one.
Down.
Down.
Nope.
Up. You're up.
Yep, that one.
That one.
Oh.
You're up.
Down.
Wow.
One without a head. There you go.
The one without a head. All right.
All right.
The heads are cute, but you know.
All right. Let's see what we get here.
This is my favorite part, you guys.
I know. Look, I said
Christmas every time.
I've heard people say, "Oh, it just becomes old hat. You'll get tired of it, and then you'll just wait for them all to pip and grab them." Then, and I'm like, "No, if I
No.
ever get tired of it, it's something's wrong." Like I'll never get-
Exactly.
Definitely
I
has.
never get tired of it.
We had about a half dozen last year that didn't have a very well developed egg tooth if they had one at all.
Mm.
Oh,
Do you guys cut your eggs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just a gravel, looks like.
Eh.
creative.
Up a little bit, Jay.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a nice
Aw.
gravel, baby.
There you go.
Good gravel, baby. We'll take it.
He's just a baby.
Okay, Greg.
That one right in the middle is
Okay.
screaming at me. Yeah. That's gonna be the one. That's gonna be the super.
All right.
I can feel it in my bones.
Holding you to it on this one.
Or maybe it's just a rainstorm. Hold on.
Right. Come on now. Let's go, super gravel.
This is our first live cutting, I think. I don't want to turn a long snake into 2 short snakes here.
Oh man,
No way.
it's a bad day. He looks cool.
Oh, just a nice pastel gravel, looks like.
Yep.
Sure that's just pastel? Where's
Nope,
that head?
super pastel.
It's a super, yeah.
That's a super.
Yeah.
Super
Told you it was a
pastel,
super.
and it's gravel.
Told you it was a super.
Look at the pretty yellow.
Trying to get the head to come up. Come on up.
Yeah, super pastel gravel. That's a pretty baby.
Yeah.
Take that.
There's not much juice left in these guys. That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
They'll
Means
crawl
we
out by
waited
morning.
long enough.
Okay, Jamie. You got these?
The one that's upside down.
This one?
Yep.
Yeah, he's choking. We got to rescue.
He's in there just help. Help.
Ooh, they're stuck, man.
He's like,
Right.
Hey, Meng. He's
Oh,
like,
no.
bye. Peace out.
the reverse Ace Ventura buffalo scene.
Yeah.
Or
So bad.
rhino.
Oh, God. Y'all are killing me with the mental images.
Oh,
Pastel.
Gravel.
yeah. Pastel gravel.
Pretty.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't think
like
we're
it
gonna
lot.
get a super I don't think we're gonna get a super gravel, guys.
So
This
Man.
could be sketch.
if I was guessing, I'd say maybe this guy, but yeah, I think we might be out of luck. What do you think, Jamie?
The one on your right.
This one?
Yep. I have a cat in my lap.
Yeah, Griffers.
Hi, baby.
Ooh, that has potential
no,
though.
that
You
one
see
might
how
be.
bright that yellow?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh. Greg, huh? Maybe?
Hold on. Let's
Come
see that
on,
dorsal,
Greg.
baby. Let's.
Oh, he's just gonna.
Oh, he's
Oh.
coming out. He's a teaser.
He's just gonna come right
Yeah.
out.
No.
Is your head stuck?
Maybe a little. It's fine. It's a flesh wound.
Right. Ah, shit. I wanted a damn super gravel, guys. Come on now.
Oh,
This is a pretty snake, though. This one's real
that.
pretty.
Wow.
Look at how pinched those alien heads are.
Yeah, they're super crunched. Pastel gravel.
Oh, hi,
All day
baby.
long.
Man, these little guys lively.
He's curious, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
we're ready
completely absorbed
out.
by
We're
the looks
done.
of it.
Might be my new best friend right there.
So, what incubator temps you guys running?
I'm at
89.
I'm at right about 90 on this one, but
Ooh, cooking them. Okay.
Okay.
I adjusted up a little bit because of the 80% female deal we had.
Some would consider that a good thing, but
Right. Depends on what you're trying to hit, right? But
Oh,
there it is. Super gravel. Yes.
Odd gods.
Yes.
I
Come
thought
on,
that stripe on
super
the back of the head
gravel.
looked good. Yeah, there you go.
Woo.
That's
take
my
that.
new best friend.
He's got a pretty good size umbilical in there yet, but
Yeah.
got one.
Yay.
Yeah. Nice. And it doesn't look like the pastels in there, so beautiful.
Yeah, I wanted to get the head up again, but be a pretty one.
Well, that's exciting. Kinda. I mean, simple thing, but
That clutch is gonna get for sure, but
Yeah. The next clutch is our male maker banana pies. We'll see if we get all males.
there we go. That was it, guys. 5 eggs.
Well done. Congrats.
Oh.
Oh, we got a super pastel and a super gravel, so
Very
yeah,
nice.
couple supers in there.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. We'll take those odds. What is that,
All
a
day long.
12% or something for the super gravel? So we'll take it.
yeah.
Awesome. I'm gonna
That
get
was
rid
cool.
of this
Did you need a
goddamn
male or
thing.
did you need a female?
Male is what we would like to see. We have a female sitting right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want that on the male side because we have some projects to pump with that super gravel. We got to gravel in a ton of stuff anyway, but it's so much nicer to not guess. You know, when you get that clutch, you just know it's gravel.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
I'd like to get mine in clown and do the super gravel clown, but that's
Yeah.
gonna be a little
yes, that's where we're going with it, and we have the building blocks to do that next year. So hopefully we can pop one of those. We're one of those oddball breeders that just sits. We don't post a lot of stuff. We don't put out every clutch and what we've created, but we're gonna have some absolute lava this year. If we decide to go to the market with a lot of what we have, we got um, white lace clowns. We've got
Ooh,
lace ultramel clown stuff. We've got a lot of stuff that can hatch that would be insane, but a good portion of that we would keep back. We're just quiet that way. I don't know. It's
we've
our
been
style. But
slow to get started in the Ultramel project. We just had some difficulty in locating some females. Um,
yeah,
you can find hatchlings everywhere, but if you try to get a female with any age to it, you're
right. And do you
Yeah.
want to be 2 years out there with your plan? It's like Jesus Christ. By the
at this
time we
point
hatch
we
this
don't have
stuff,
much choice. We did pick up a het female this year, and we got her bred, and we made our own het clutch this year. But
gotcha,
we,
gotcha.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Ultramel's so pretty.
Yeah,
Did you guys happen to tune in to the Ultramel versus Monarch debate?
I did. I watched it the other day and saw that.
Yeah. How
It's
interesting did you find that?
uh, it's the same arguments that you hear everywhere, but it's nice to have the debate solely be about that and not be diverting
Scattered
off.
all over the board.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but in my opinion, that conversation led it down the path that I've kind of always thought, that the draw to the butterfly is the dollar sign
Yep.
over anything else, because the normal ultramels look better, age better,
Yep.
they just present better. I I don't
Well,
get the others.
yeah, 100% agree. And my takeaway from it is this 100%. And you can love me or hate me for this opinion, but as soon as you step into Monarch, you completely limit your palette compared
Yeah,
to Ultramel.
yeah,
Now, if you
absolutely.
get an Ultramel, you can get very close to Monarch colors. You can get very dark and you can get very red and rusty. You can get really close to the Monarch colors, but you still have yellow and white and purple
Yep.
and blue and all the range that Monarch is never going to give you. I don't care what you put in Monarch, you're not going to touch that palette. Do
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
yeah,
And that to me is just I don't want to shut off that 3/4 of the color palette to say I have a Monarch that's worth twice as much as an Ultramel just for the dollar sign. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
I can't trade that off in the possibility of what you put into it, right? Um, I don't know.
Couldn't agree
And
more.
Austin kind of tried to beat that up through that whole show. It was a great show. I mean, don't
He
get
gave
me
it a
wrong.
valiant effort, but I just don't feel like his
He
points hit as
tried.
hard as he wanted them to.
Right, right. I mean, he
He's
tried
trying.
really hard. He's like, but do you see orange in your? No. Do you see purple? No. And he kind of kept going back to that well. And I'm like, Austin, I hear you, dude. There's so much more palette with Ultramel, in my opinion.
But
Um,
again, that's the beauty and the lure with the ball pythons is no matter what your interest is, no matter what your love is or your passion is, there's something there for you.
oh, for
There's a
sure.
gene there for you, and there's a combo out there for you, and there's just so many infinite ways to combine these animals to create the animals that suit your taste and what you're looking for. That's the greatest thing about them.
Yeah, 100%. 100% agree. Um, yeah, I don't know. We touched on a lot, guys, but honestly, this could be like a 4-hour talk because I just want to chill in you guys' living room, if I'm being honest.
Doors
I mean,
always open.
Yeah.
right. Come down there and just camp on your couch and sit and bullshit. But
Doors
we
always
could
open.
literally do that for hours. I think we want to close out, try to get things wrapped up. Do you guys seriously? Do you have some closing stuff that you really want to touch on that we missed tonight, or
T?
No, I'm good. Do you want anything, Greg? Do you have anything you want to?
No, just wish everybody luck in their season. Looks like everybody is finally getting off to a pretty good start, and it's what you turn it into. Live your dream.
100%. 100%. And thank you guys. Honestly, I know we've talked forever, but you guys were always more than open to coming out, filling out our schedule, and just saying, you guys want to have us out, get us out. You guys were awesome about that. No hesitation whatsoever. It's a touchy
You got it,
thing.
man.
You don't know what a show is going to be like. Do we hate these people? Do we not want to be part of what they're putting out there?
It's like I
I
told you
mean,
though.
it's,
We trusted you enough to know what to expect from
yeah,
Yeah.
you. I mean, it's cool.
yeah.
I think you guys are doing a hell of a job with it, and looking forward to seeing you continue with it.
Yeah, well, we're going to continue, good, bad, or otherwise, until we get smacked in the head with a KD hammer. If he
Well,
keeps winning those goddamn trivia questions, that's what he's going to buy. He's going to buy the band hammer to get us off the goddamn internet. I just know how he operates. That's what he's saving up for.
just go ahead and
What
throw in the
hammer do
snake
I
now
need?
and get it over with.
Right. But no, it's awesome, guys. Super appreciate you guys. Next week we have Brian Heath and Hatchery. I don't know if you guys are super familiar with him or not. Awesome
Bob.
dude. Yes,
Yeah.
Ball Ross is coming on. We've got all of his splash stuff ready to go. It's going to be in the closing, so you two hang around for a little bit. We want to just BS with you for the fun of it after the show.
Absolutely.
But
Brian bought our very first sale from us.
Yep.
nice.
Our
Okay.
very first customer, beautiful bamboo girl.
Nice. That's awesome. Okay. Nice connection there I wasn't completely unaware of. But cool. So yeah, he's going to be on next week. We're going to drag him up here and put him through the same kind of ribbing. Appreciate you guys for sure. And thanks for sitting through that quick little 5-egg cutting, whatever, and getting our supers out there or whatever they were.
There's a question for you.
Oh, Jamie, I think
Question?
you're muted. Maybe not.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That was my bad. There's a question
Oh.
for you.
Okay, what's up? This
Can
is
you
my
dress
question?
like Bull Ross?
Maybe. I'm not sure what that would entail.
I
I'm
know
not
you
sure.
have socks that would work.
I do have Bob Ross socks.
Yeah.
Because I do paint. But
Okay, so you got to change your background to the Bob Ross background
Oh, yeah.
before you have him
absolutely.
come on.
Yes, happy little trees and
Yeah,
all that good.
get you the fro wig and put that on, man. Come on.
For sure. Yep. But we have him set up in that scenario.
Nice.
So check out the closing. When we get out of here, watch the closing credits and stuff, and you'll see what we got going for Ball Ross. But thank you everyone for coming out tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Congrats, K Diesel, again. Get to stop winning these goddamn trivia questions. But congrats. It's $20 in your account. We're gonna move on. Everybody, if you have not liked, subscribed, all of that YouTube
Do it now.
algorithm BS, do it. Just hit the buttons
Push
and
the buttons.
yes, please be part of it. But love everybody. And TJ, Greg, can't thank you enough.
Trying.
Honestly.
Thank you.
You guys have been great.
Thank
Love
you.
Yeah, fantastic show. So let's get out of here and let's everybody have their closing. Let's do it.